Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you what I call the poor man's priming spray booth. Now, I did some upgrades with this because I just finished cleaning my garage and I want to make sure I can keep the dust down this winter time. So I'm just going to show you guys what I have and what I use, and maybe this will give you some ideas, and it'll also show you that if you want to get into the hobby and you don't want to be dropping, $400 on the spray booth like I have in my studio for when I paint statues that are, not priming them. If you want to just kind of make up something in the garage to kind of just work with it, and then you figure, well, I only spent $50 on wooden materials, I don't like this, you could get rid of it. So it's kind of just helping you guys out with some things. So, and then I didn't want to spend much money either, and I just wanted to do some upgrades. So with the winter time coming up, I always spray in the garage where I can't really blow the stuff out with that fan that's sitting next to it. And plus, in the wintertime, you got to have the heaters on too because you can't spray in really cold. So this is what I came up with. So long story short about this thing is this was an old booth that I had when I was renting an apartment. I needed some kind of a table to airbrush on, and I asked my father to make me something. So he made me something real cheap. He had old wood laying around, and he just put it together. So I kind of just upgraded it today. So as you can see, the plywood, it comes up higher off the statue now. You see it's up higher. It comes out further over here now compared to what I used to have. It's a lot bigger. And that's just some plywood I had in my rafters just sitting there. It's old, and I figured, it's time to do something with this just to get rid of it. So didn't spend any money on that. But even if I did spend the money, all this wood, wood, you're talking about, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks of wood maybe, if that, unless you have other stuff laying around. So what I did is, the idea now is I put this piece in here, which this black piece is something you use for your roof of your house, for like the water pipe. This was like $4. And then underneath of here now, as you can see, I put a piece of PVC piece here, which is probably like $1. And then I put this PVC pipe here, which is like $3. And then I had some of this metal stuff and everything. And then I had that there. So now what I do is I just got to get an adapter to finish this adapter here. And what I can do is I can hook my shop vac up to it. So this way when I prime, I can actually be sucking up the dust more, which is great. Now I have these filters here that I get at Walmart that I use for my airbrush booth. But when I put this on the airbrush booth, I got to actually cut this because it doesn't fit. So what I could do is I could take whatever I cut out and I can just shove it in here. So this way it'll collect the dust and stuff, and then I could take that piece and I could throw it away. But see, the problem is I still needed something where I could put these heavy statues on, because the $400 booth has like a metal rack that you put up, and then you could put the stuff on. So if you wanted to, you can put one here, one here, one here of this stuff, and you can network them into one pipe for your shop vac or whatever. And then you could put filters and all that stuff down. So maybe down the line, if I get more money and I find some kind of a better, either a stronger shop vac or some kind of a vacuum pump, maybe I'll make a better booth. But for now, I just wanted to come up with something cheap. Now, the other thing too is, if you guys really want to make something really super cheap, is I do a lot of sanding where I sit in this chair, and I do a lot of sanding and dust gets all over the floor and stuff. So now what I did is I took my shop vac and I took that piece that I never used of the attachment, I drilled a hole through it, as you can see, and then you can take hold on, I'm trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time. So now, I can take the shop vac, put it in there, and I can sit down in my chair, and I can sand over this, and all the dust could go in here, and it can suck it into the shop vac. And the reason why I put this little screen piece with this tape is that if I have anything small and I drop it in, it doesn't get sucked up into the shop vac. Now this shop vac here isn't that strong. It's a little cheap one at the Home Depot. But I think the next time when this goes on me, because I'm running it all the time, I'll probably get a bigger one and a stronger one as well. But it does its justice. I've had it for probably like 2-3 years now. It's still kicking in, doing fine. But now, so this bucket here from Home Depot was probably like, I don't know, was it like $3? So a $3 Home Depot bucket, you drill a hole. I used clear caulking in here, because I had some caulking that was going to go bad on me, but you can go and get some caulking if you have it. You can use hot glue, you can use whatever the hell you want. And then I also did caulking around the edges here. I did some of the clear caulking in all these little holes from drills, as you can see. So there you go. That's pretty much I call the poor man's little boost that you can suck up dust. Now, when I sand a lot, whenever I'm sanding in the chair and I'm sanding over this, I'm not really sanding the resin as much. I'm usually sanding like all the eaves. So a lot of my dust actually comes from priming and eaves, not the actual resin from the statue. Whenever I go to really Dremel out a statue, like really like chop it up though, I do take the shop vac, and then I'll have the shop vac while I'm you know, doing this stuff. So let me show you a little trick what I've been doing recently, and we'll come back. Alright guys, so another trick you guys can do, and this is what I do a lot now, is I got this clamp. You can get this clamp at, like, you know, I get it for free at Harbor Freight Tools when you buy something at Harbor. To give these things away free. Whenever, and if you don't know what a Harbor Freight Tools is, it's like a hardware store, but it's really cheap stuff, you know. They have, you know, stuff like that there, that sander. They got stuff like, instead of spending $70 on this type of a sander, you can get this one for $26, and literally it does the same thing. And for what I do, it's lasted me like 2 years nonstop, no problem. So basically, I got the vacuum going here, and then if I'm drumming out something really strong, as you can see, so if I'm like drumming out hair and I really need to take out chunks, I could Dremel, and all this stuff gets sucked into there, and I don't have to worry about as much dust. So, you know, if you guys are getting into the hobby and you really want to, you know, you're worried about this dust and you don't know what you're doing, or you know, or even if you've been into it away and you want some other ideas, so a simple shop vac, you know, just going up there and sucking up the dust works out great. You know, you can also use a vise. If you have a vise, you could put the, sometimes I'll put the vacuum cleaner under the vise, and if I'm drumming, I'll hold it up here, and then it's going down into the piece as well. So that's another thing. So literally, you know, this is some cheap options. If you guys, this is what I do. It's cheap options. I mean, literally, it's a little, you know, this right here is just perfect because you can just, you know, you can bring it wherever you need to. You can put it anywhere. It's great. You don't have to worry about that. So after doing this video, near the end of it, I'm also thinking of maybe down the line, if anybody's got some really cool links to something cheap with like a vacuum pump or some kind of a fan system where it really sucks out a lot of air into, you know, going down, that I could put underneath here, let me know in the comments. Or that, contact me on my website. I'm always looking for more ideas from people. But what I'm thinking now is I will take get maybe 2 more of these down the line, put one over here, put one over here, and rig up some kind of a metal grating above it. And then what I could do is I could take this this stuff here, and I could just throw the filter underneath here. And so when I prime, everything gets sucked down into there, into that filter, and then I could just throw the filter away. But that's kind of what I came up with for now. Just something cheap for the winter time this year. And once I get a chance and I start brainstorming some more ideas, I'll come up with some other stuff. But so there you go. That's kind of like, you know, some cheap stuff for you guys if you want to get into the hobby, or if you want to do something cleaner. Maybe you got, like, you know, a wife or a relative or parents that are just like, I don't want all that dust in my garage. These are some things that might help you out. It's just pretty cheap. So there you go. Poor man setup. It's really fun to come up with these little stupid ideas. And instead of spending, you know, crazy amounts of money on making something that looks, you know, of course we want all the best equipment in the world, but, you know, sometimes you just can't do it. So there you go. Hopefully you guys like the way I have everything set up. Be sure to do some comments if you guys got any ideas and other links to anything. Let me know. And if you're getting into the hobbies, just hopefully it helped you guys out. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.